All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. This article is from the JerusalemPost.com. The headline reads, it says, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens dramatically increased Israel focus in recent months. Study finds. Okay, everything is spiritual, right? What is this all about? Global censorship from these people. Okay? Check that out. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens dramatically increased Israel focus in recent months. Study finds. This is a JPPI study using AI analysis found that Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens sharply increased anti-you-know-who content, with Owens also showing a rise in explicit anti-you-know-what messaging. See? We told you that these two characters right here would be in the forefront of anti-you-know-who. Okay? The Spirit revealed it. Okay? Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, right? A prudent man foreseeth the evil. Okay, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. There's a reason why these two blew up on the platforms that they're on, pushing the narrative, all right, of who these people, who they are, and what's going on, and the exposure and all of that. Because you know Esau's playing both sides, man. All right, but again, the main agenda is global censorship from the tiny tops. Okay, we saw that a mile away, right? Reading on here, all right? So the Spirit reveals everything, man. Okay? Reading on, it says, right-wing anti-tiny top media personalities, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have, quote, significantly increased their focus on Israel, right? Why is this happening? Because of prophecy, man. All right. In recent months, a new study analyzed thousands of videos shared on social media using artificial intelligence found. All right. They're monitoring thousands of videos on social media. Okay. That's speaking about the narrative and who the small hats are. This is why they have the Palantir and the Gideon, NVIDIA. Okay, we're in the midst of that surveillance state. All right, this is part of the beast. Social credit scores and all of that, man. Monitoring and categorizing people based off, you know, their views of these people, the government, whatever, man. We're in the midst of it now. This is what it's about. And as I had made mention yesterday, they have a whole police force set up. Let's play that. Okay, and again, this is fair use. Fair use is for educational purposes, man. All right?
And now we are exporting the great noticing too, aren't we? The American government actually made a new anti-Semitism task force, and it will be run by Rabbi Yehuda. Yes, that's his actual name.
Rabbi Yehuda Kaplan is the incoming White House special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism.
That is ironic because Yahud is the word that Arabs use for Jays. And here is his global mission.
My mission is to ensure that the United States is not just a safe haven for Jewish life, but a force that defends the Jewish community around the world.
He was even welcomed by the World Jewish Congress, which if you point out actually does exist, they'll deny it and call you an anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist. So his job is to use the American government as a giant police force to protect Jewish life. But not just in America, all around the world. So the American government is going to be the world police for one small group of people. It's going to really overstep the self-determination of other people. And we're going to bully around other people for that one group of people. But here's the crazy thing too. There is no task force in America to fight anything anti-American. But we're going to have a task force to not just fight anti-Semitism in America, but around the world? We're doing something for others we wouldn't even do for ourselves. So who really runs America? Not Americans. The Great Noticing continues. And now we are exporting the Great Noticing too, aren't we?
You see, it's game over, man. Okay, this shit about to go down, right? Real fast. Let's get because like I said, this ties in to the famine. Let's get that real quick, and we'll go back to the read. This is Amos 8 and 11. All right, bear with me. It's Amos 8 and 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shemel Shah, that will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah, and shall not find it." It's coming, man. Okay, the persecution, being hated, right? This is how you know that 2026 is going to be a heavy year, man. You know, was it John 15, 18? All right, John 15, 18, it says, if the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own, but because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So we see it, man. Okay? It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also, right? But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me, right? So again, that this is the setup, right? Let me get one more, and we'll go back. Revelation 2 and 10. Revelation 2 and 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. You shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, man. So, hey, again, we're going to have to stand on our beliefs. All right, we're going to have to be prepared to go through the straits. All right, because hey, as we're going to get into, we're at the point as they know, the whole world is coming against them. All right, so we're closer than ever for some major things to happen. All right, let's go back. Read a little bit more. It says the study published on Sunday by the Jay's People Policy Institute found that there was a marked escalation in Carson and Owens anti-you-know-who rhetoric, as well as Owens' explicit anti-you-know-what. Anti-you-know-what is at a record high. We're keeping our eyes on it. Yeah, as we just showed you in the video. The World Task Force that they have. In recent months, both media personalities increased their frequency and intensity of negative content according to the study. All right, he's watching everything. Okay, the growing obsessiveness towards Israel. All right, check that out. All right, so they got a whole page dedicated to this madness, man. But hey, we the spirit, been revealed it. All right, this is Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked. All right, and the Lord is causing the Edomites to be fully exposed in these last days before their destruction. Okay, because like Elder Apostle Har said, what are they trying to hide? What do they need all of this for? What's really going on? Right? Verse 22, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. You see that? So the sins of the devil, of these Edomites, are being discovered, man. They're being talked about on every platform throughout social media. All right. The narrative, the spell is wearing off. All right. The so-called, average, American, especially Edomites, the Edomite American, they see that who really runs the show. Okay. Jeremiah 49 and 10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. He can't hide no more, man. See? He can't hide no more. They got the whole AI set up to see, like I said, the increase in, what did it say again? The study found that there was a marked escalation in Carson and Owens anti-you-know-who rhetoric, as well as Owens anti-you-know-what, right? Yeah, it said it increased frequency and intensity of negative content according to the study. They're hurt, man. And he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right, just going into the chat real quick. All right. So this is from Jeremiah 49:10, the chat GPT. Immediate context judgment on Edom. Jeremiah 49 is prophecy against Edom, the nation descended from Esau. Genesis 36. Edom occupied mountainous strongholds, Petra, Mount Seir, which made them feel untouchable, right? And this is how they paraded themselves around the earth, as they would never fall, you know. This chapter parallels Obadiah 1, Isaiah 34, Ezekiel 35. All speak of divine judgment on Edom for perpetual hatred against Israel. Number 2, the point, I have made Esau bare. This means total exposure. Okay? This was going on. Total exposure. Right? Bare equals stripped of protection, defenses, pride, secrecy. Okay? Scripture say that in Jeremiah, can any man hide himself from the Lord, which filleth all the heaven and earth? The Most High is seeing everything. It says the Most High himself removes the coverings Edom trusted in, fortresses, alliances, wealth, right? Obadiah 1, 3, and 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, I will bring thee down. Habakkuk 2, 16, the cup of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah's right hand shall be turned unto thee. This is humiliation before destruction, not accidental defeat. See that? And that's what's going on right now. His secrets, his plans, agendas, okay, narratives, it's all being humiliated and destroyed, man, before the Lord physically takes him down. He can't run, he can't hide. All right, the narrative no longer sticks. So whatever they got planned major, they got to go ahead and bring that out. You know, it looks like the Samson option is most certainly going to be an option. You know, real fast. Habakkuk 2. All right, he's on the ropes. Right, Habakkuk 2 and 16. I want to read down to that. All right. Matter of fact, bear with me. Yeah, so this is Habakkuk 2 and 16, right? I was thinking about something else, but I'll get to the point. Habakkuk 2 and 16 says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah's right hand, should be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing should be on that glory, right? So this man is being just humiliated on a global level. You know, all the scandals that happened. What happened to, what happened to the tunnels and the sewers that got exposed? What was up with that? You know, and the different rituals with the chickens and shit like that. All the stuff that's circulating on social media exposing these people, man. You know, their so-called religious practices, all of that. You know, it's all coming out. Anyway, let's get back to it, finish it off. Number 3, uncovers his secret places. Edom relied on hidden mountainous caves, trade routes, political alliances, secret councils, and wisdom. Jeremiah 49:7. The Most High says nothing remains concealed. That's my point. Everything we're talking about here. Compare Luke 12 and 2. Nothing covered that should be revealed. Psalm 64, 6 and 7. The Most High searches deep counsels and brings judgment. This implies exposures of schemes, not just geography. Like I said earlier, the Spirit Ben revealed this scheme here of what was going on between these two characters. That it was all leading to what? The collapse of so-called freedom of speech and persecution. Okay? He should not be able to hide himself. This is inescapable judgment, right? No refuge, not geography, not wealth, alliances, not wisdom, right? Let's go back. That's what I was thinking about in the NLT, same chapter. Habakkuk 2, and starting at 15. Habakkuk 2:15 NLT says, "What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness." Verse 16, "But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come drink and be exposed. Drink from the cup of the Lord's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame." See? It says, "You cut down the forest of Lebanon, now you would be cut down. You destroyed the wild animals, so now their terror will be yours. You committed murder throughout the countryside." What are these people doing now in the Holy Land? Right? And around the world. "And filled the towns with violence. What good is an idol carved by man, or a cast image that deceives you? How foolish to trust in your own creation, a God that can't even talk." Right? And right now we see that happening with this AI being ushered in. Okay? "Sorrow awaits you who say to wooden idols, 'Wake up and save us.' To the speechless stone images you say, 'Rise up and teach us.' Can an idol tell you what to do, that they may be overlaid with gold and silver, but they are lightless inside? But the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him." Right, the point. Okay, let's go back, because I want to jump into the war that's being set up right now. All right. So anyway, that was it on that. All right. Let's go into this. And check this out in the right-hand corner here. Look at that. Anti-you-know-what exposed, right? So they're pushing it. So let's get into this article here. This is from FoxNews.com. Iranian president says his country is at total war with the U.S., Israel, and Europe. See? Least of the flock should draw them out. Let's get into it.
It's hard for me to tell you what the U.S. would do, because that's a policy decision that'll be made at the White House, not at the ambassador level in Israel. All I can do is point to you what the president has said repeatedly. And he consistently has said Iran is never going to enrich uranium, and they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And he's continued to say that well in advance of the war, and he's never changed that message after the war, and he's continued to say it. Iran, I don't know that they ever took him seriously until the night that the B-2 bombers went to Fordow. I hope they got the message, but apparently they didn't get the full message, because, as you have mentioned, they appear to be trying to reconstitute and find a new way to dig the hole deeper, secure it more. It presents a threat, but not just to Israel, not just to the United States. This presents a real threat to all of Europe. And if the Europeans don't understand this, then they're even dumber than I sometimes think they are. And that's rather undiplomatic to say, but you look at some of the things that they say and do, although I will say that I'm happy to see that they put back in some snapback provisions on Iran, which was very important. And the more of those kind of things will help to maybe choke off some of Iran's ability to do what they're trying to do. But bottom line is, I think the president has made it clear that this is not just about Israel. This is about the United States. Iran has threatened America for 46 consecutive years. From 1979, when the Ayatollahs took power, they've always said, death to Israel, death to America, in the same sentence. This was never a separation. Israel is only the appetizer, because you're closer and you're an easier target than the vast geographical expanse that represents the United States. But they've never hidden the fact that the real entree, their ultimate goal, is to destroy the United States, because if you want to destroy Western civilization and move the world back to the 7th century and take us back to a place that, thank God, doesn't exist anymore, then you cannot do that without taking the United States down. And that's why they have said for all of these 46 years, death to America.
All right, so you see what's going down. Read the room, right? Heard what he said. Let's grab Back in Jeremiah real fast.
FBI Director.
Right. Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that he hath taken against Edom and his purposes, they proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. See that? So, again, America is being drawn into nuclear war. All right? With U.S., Israel, and Europe. Okay? That's prophecy here, man. Right? Let's get, you know what, we'll play this before we grab the next scripture. All right? Let's add some more into that. Again, U.S., Israel, Europe waging a total war on our country. Iran President Mossad Pezeshkian, I don't even know how to pronounce that right. Let's just play the video.
Our top focus on beyond at this hour, President Masoud Pezeshkian says that Iran is at war. Our top focus on beyond at this hour, President Masoud Pezeshkian says that Iran is at war with the United States, Israel and Europe, claiming that these countries do not want Tehran to stand on its feet. Pezeshkian also issued a warning and he said that Iran is now stronger than the recent 12-day war and any new enemy provocation will face a stronger response. He claimed that Iran's enemies are hoping that something happens internally so they can begin their intervention. In an interview published on the official site of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the Iranian president said, "In my opinion, we are at total war with the United States, Israel and Europe. They want to bring our country to its knees." He added that they are putting us in difficulty and constraint, creating problems in terms of livelihood, culturally, politically and security-wise, while raising society's expectations. Well, Pezeshkian's statements coincide with plans for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the United States. It is being reported that Netanyahu may present President Trump with a new plan of action against Iran. Remember, Israel and Iran engaged in a 12-day war in June. The U.S. later joined the operation when Trump ordered strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities in June. The United States and its allies accuse Iran of seeking to acquire nuclear weapons, a claim that Tehran has repeatedly denied. Trump has announced a maximum pressure policy against Iran that has included sanctions designed to economically cripple the country and dry up its oil reserves from sales, and this is on the global market. Now, France, Britain and Germany led a campaign that resulted in the reimposition of UN sanctions on Iran in September over its nuclear program.
Yep, that's it. The least of the flock should draw them out. It's happening. All right. Let's grab this, and that'll be it. Just putting this out here, man. Heavy. The war, the total war. Again, the Iranian president says his country is at total war with U.S., Israel, and Europe. And then you got what's going on right now dealing with this this anti-madness, right? So, hey, this thing's at the door. 2nd Ezra 15 and 28, behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, all right, the so-called Middle East, all right, where all of this global tension is boiling up at, okay? It says, verse 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, okay, this is the Ishmaelite nations, okay, should come out with many chariots. It says, and the multitude of them should be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may tremble. All right. It says, verse 30, also the Carmenians, all right, which is the Persians, all right, which would be the Iranians. Also the Carmenians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, all right, going into America. Okay, this is why this is happening. Iran at war with U.S., Israel, and Europe. Right? And the dragons shall have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they turn, and this it says, and they shall turn to themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Okay, what's happening now? America, Europe, Israel at war. Then these should be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power. And it says, through their power, and shall flee. Verse 33. It says, and from the land of the Assyrians, the enemy shall the enemy besiege them, and shall consume some of them, and their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. All right. So right now, you got plants and sleeper cells and things that the Lord is going to unleash in these times to come. All right. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north and unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Yeah, because nuclear war is going to come. They're going to shoot missiles. Okay? This is where we at. All right? So like I said earlier, that Samson option will eventually be an option, man. All that come against the tiny tops, they're going to just let loose those missiles and destroy the earth. But the point is what? Nuclear war. All right? Shalom.